Mr. Big and Drax, both of them commit my greatest sin, which is they don't have a natural reason to keep Bond alive. So what ends up happening is the two of them just keep trying to kill Bond, and they end up just looking stupid. You know, when a bad guy doesn't have a reason to keep Bond alive and they continue time after again to fail to kill him, the plot comes across as contrived because, you know, and at least with this movie, it's they do kind of mix it up with a whole bunch of assassins. We already went through all of them. The only one we skipped was the stretcher assassins, you know, just like these guys who happen to show up out of nowhere as if they were anticipating that Jaws was going to completely botch his kill. But overall, the assassins really aren't that great. I think Knife Guy is,
he had potential.
That whole sequence
Short-lived.
is weak. Stretcher guys are kind of whatever. Wannabe Odd Job is just so awful. Just everything he does is awful. So I think that would be my hook then. That's where I would go, okay, I can see that on that alone, even though I think Drax is a significantly better bad guy than really any bad guy. As you keep saying, McCurdy, the film as a whole. Yeah, motivation-wise. The film as a whole.
Again, like I said, I agree with you as far as what you're saying with Drax. Like, that totally checks with me. It totally tracks. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's great. But you put the element of the villain in this movie, it's there's left more to be desired that's not there. And like like that's where I'm gonna harp on a lot more is that, like, yeah, you have one really great element that you're gonna say like, oh yeah, this is so great, and I'm like, look at the whole movie, guys. Like, look at every single scene in that movie. How does the whole movie fit together?
Well, go back and watch the Man with the Golden Gun episode where you're putting so much weight on Scaramanga, and I'm like, yeah, because he's awesome. Because he was in Lord of the Rings, and that's all I care about. I saw Lord of the Rings when I was 12 years old, and now any movie that has anybody that had anybody from Lord of the Rings in it, it's the best movie ever, and I don't care what you say. Because that's how I make decisions in my life.
I knew it. That's
you
heard it here.
Hey, I still love you, bro.
Was Drax in Fellowship of the Ring? Was he?
Is he?
No, therefore this movie sucks. Was Sean Connery in Lord of the Rings? No, he was supposed to be Gandalf, but when that didn't happen, every Sean Connery movie sucks because it's not Lord of the Rings.
Hey, I can't wait till we get to the next movie that has two, not just one, but two alumni from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You can say that
right
for
on.
the next movie.
Okay, so I will say, though, on the note of The Man with the Golden Gun, where you, McCurdy, embarrass yourself by being all pissed off that the Solex never came into the plot again. Where do these lasers come from, McCurdy? If not from the Solex? How did they suddenly make lasers that are blue? McCurdy, explain that.
I like how in Q branch the guy's got like grenade balls, and then some dude just has a laser gun. It's like,
they're bolas, Nans.
Balls, Q. Bolus 007.
Balls. Exploding balls and then a laser gun.
I think my favorite weird moment in that whole sequence is the Kung Fu monks. Because he Bond just opens up this door and these two monks are fighting. And he even does like the...
after he throws the guy. Okay, I have a... I will say, I do think that the real hero of this movie, though, is Ken Adam. I do think that maybe in the past I didn't think too much about this movie's production design, but that hat you're wearing, McCurdy, that yellow, is throughout this whole movie. And not that that really means anything. It's just a color that they landed on, and then that dictated the look of the whole film. But
well, that's how I felt about Diamonds Are Forever, as far as it being very brown and very yellow.
But you said that in a negative way. With this, it's like that yellow is throughout,
like gold.
But it's like you could say it's the color of piss, but it's also the color of gold. Yeah, and it is not that automatically means good, but overall, Ken Adam really rocked. I mean, even just like the Mayan fortress with all the TV screens and everything. Like he really had a good time.
I thought the production
on this.
design of this movie was
That's
really
the
good.
one sequence in the movie where I felt like they kind of leaned in a little bit to Star Wars because the fact that like they take off from like this
It looks like the Rebel
forest,
base.
kind of like how Yavin 4 in Star Wars is that.
Yeah.
So it's the one time, but you know, the rest of the movie is what it is.
At the beginning of this filming we're doing, we were talking about how it doesn't stack up to Star Wars or Alien in terms of special effects. But I thought for a Bond film, I was actually pretty impressed with what they were able
The
to do.
special effects, they did get nominated. Like this film does get nominated.
Yeah,
Really?
it doesn't beat
time.
Alien, but
It didn't. But to me, it's like you compare that
Fair
to
enough.
Alien and Star Wars and Blade Runner and every other movie that
Yeah.
came out after the wake of Star Wars, and it's like it doesn't quite stack up. But
Yeah.
then again, it's like you're also trying to make a movie with super spies and fighting in all these different locations, and it's like you're not going to get that movie.
Up until the space fight scene, I had actually made a point. I'm like, all right, the explosions seem better. The ragdoll seems more acceptable than that guy falling
Oh
off
my
the cliff
God.
in the last one.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things felt better up until the space scene.
There's a moment when during the boat scene when they get like the ragdoll boats or the ragdoll guys on the boats, like you can see the boat comes up and it smacks really hard, and the guy and like the ragdoll's head pops off or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you watch carefully, it's there. You're like, oh, that
Yeah.
doesn't look good. But they were like,
Oh,
oh,
fuck.
fuck it, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
There is the return of the Bond trap. If you remember from You Only Live Twice, it's how do you catch a James Bond?
women.
With a woman.
And with this, it's
Women?
this hot chick
Women.
walking through the rainforest. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was kind of fun. But I have let me read a quick list of just random things I like, just little things that I like. When Bond throws that guy out of the airplane, he does that awesome corkscrew, which I've just always dug. Like that was just fun. When Bond gets off the gondola, he's wearing that hat. I hate that he's wearing that hat, but then he takes it off and he throws it just like he always does in Moneypenny's office. The "Is there a safe in here?" moment.
Is there a safe in here? Thank you.
She naturally looks at it like that's what a spy would do. Just again, little things. The thing about the movie overall is that for every pigeon double take, there's then a dog murder scene. Like for everything that I just go, oh, I hate that. There's something that I go, I actually really love that. You know, for every stupid dead body knife guy, there's the centrifuge scene. So that's where this movie constantly is doing this. You know, where I don't absolutely hate it. And Moonraker is the laughingstock of the Bond movies. It's the number one cited movie for, Bond jumping the shark or just being too goofy for its own good. But at least we all agree that it's most certainly not the bottom. All that goofiness and all the movie references, all the pointless movie references, and just all of that stacks up to just not quite defeating Live and Let Die. That was the first Roger Moore movie that wasn't doing all those stupid pointless movie references because it was trying to be its own thing. It was trying to just be a Bond movie, and it wasn't trying to be Star Wars. It wasn't trying to be 2001: A Space Odyssey. It wasn't trying to be Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was just trying to be its own Bond movie, regardless of blaxploitation. It was just trying to be its own goddamn Bond movie. So, plus, it still has Solitaire, which is still probably our best Bond girl. So then that was our hook. But and it had all these henchmen. It didn't turn the henchmen into complete farces like Jaws. So for all those reasons, we're locking in Moonraker at number 9. So we are at, once again, goddamn Goldfinger, we're coming for you. You're not always going to be at the top. We're coming for you. But for now, Goldfinger number 1, From Russia with Love number 2, The Spy Who Loved Me number 3, The Man with the Golden Gun number 4, Dr. No number 5, On Her Majesty's Secret Service number 6, number 7, Thunderball, number 8, Live and Let Die. Welcome, Moonraker, to not being at the bottom at number 9. Diamonds Are Forever number 10, You Only Live Twice, still at the bottom, you embarrassment. You stupid piece of movie. How dare you be racist towards Japanese people? Anyway,